Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Not Coming Soon. We're happy to have you. This is the second video podcast that we've done and the grand finale of The Ancient Warrior, which I know has been driving you guys crazy, not knowing what's happening for weeks. Part 3. As a reminder, this is the final part, so we're going to wrap things up right here. Answer all your burning questions.
And we'll never talk about this again.
Never again. Not coming soon. Until somebody rips off our idea and then we sue them for copyright.
Boom.
Boom.
Big Fat Liar style.
Oh, 100%. My name is Ryan Myers.
I'm Jeff Myers. This is part 3. And but before we get there, before we share with you conclusion of The Ancient Warrior, we have some topics to discuss. What are you watching right now, Ryan?
Right now, actually last night, as a matter of fact, I watched the latest episode of Better Call Saul, Season 6. And I'm doing it on live television, which is an odd experience. Commercials, not super fun. But, you know, it has to be done. I actually messed up a little bit because I did it on YouTube TV. And YouTube TV is funky. So you can do live. You can go to Guide and watch all the live shows.
Right.
But you also have archived everything you've watched before. Or I don't know if it's everything, or I'm not exactly sure how it works.
I'm not, I will only use YouTube TV for the occasional baseball game I watch and live events like the Super Bowl, Oscars, things like that.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. Who pays for it? Anyway, I clicked on the archived premiere from last week without knowing it. So I'm watching this. I'm watching last week's episode, thinking it's this week's episode
that I've
already watched. And so at first I'm like, this is weird. 13 minutes. Keep in mind there's a commercial in there, but I swore
you got a quarter of the way through the show.
Not 13 minutes. That's when I finally got
13 minutes is pretty specific.
Well, because that's when I finally figured out what was going on and I got to the live version. It was 13 minutes in. So this was me figure out where to go, being mad for a bit, and then finding it. So not 13 minutes. But I swear to God, I'm watching it and I'm like, this looks familiar, but I think there's more detail in this time than there was last time. I told myself that. So I was sitting there for a bit thinking that they were, because they've done that. They maybe tell.
Oh, absolutely. Tell it from a different perspective or
right. Or like you miss a key detail and they give it to you this time. Right. They go a little bit further this time before they cut off the last time. So I'm like, okay, all right. No. And then I'm like, okay, I have definitely watched this. And that's when I figured it out.
Nary a week ago.
To be fair, I wasn't feeling great at the time and I dozed off, which was bad. I never do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Better Call Saul Season 6. Great so far. Vince Gilligan is a genius. I love the way he tells stories. Excited to see how this wraps up. So yeah, Better Call Saul. I don't want to give anything away. It's it's live. People are watching as it comes out. Up until this point, I had been waiting till stuff came on Netflix, but they put season 5 on Netflix like a week before the first episode of season 6, and so I was thinking that was the new season that was coming out. Season 5.
I think our parents had that same issue.
Yeah. No. So I watched season 5 and I'm like, I thought this was the last season. What the heck? And then I'm like, watch Better Call Saul Season 6.
So you watched all of season 5 again?
No, I hadn't seen it
without
yet.
realizing it.
Because they just put it on Netflix.
Okay.
I hadn't seen it at all.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Yeah, so then I was like, great, what am I supposed to do now? And then I see the ad that Better Call Saul Season 6 is coming out AMC 9 p.m. East Coast. So I was like, okay, that worked out.
That's rough. That's a new paradigm for you.
Dude, it's tough.
We're spoiled over here. We got to watch Game of Thrones at 6 p.m. It was excellent.
I got my disappointment well into the night. It's frustrating. So anyway, yeah, Better Call Saul. Loving it. I also watched Jurassic Park, which is not a new title by any means, and I've seen it countless times. I had a new Jurassic Park Lego set that obviously had to be done with a viewing, And I gotta tell you, that movie astounds me every time I watch it. It's from 1993.
It's outrageous.
It's insane. It's like, and I feel like now they're like almost cocky with computer graphics because I think they overuse it, and it's like obvious.
Yeah.
Like you can clearly tell. And then not to say Jurassic Park you can't, because you can definitely tell between the animatronic and the CGI, but the new capability at the time made them not try to flaunt it. They used it where they had to.
Yeah.
Not where they needed to, not where they wanted to. So they got to go in between, and it was great. Now it's like everything is CGI, and it, if you're not in a realm where, like in a Marvel movie, where it's all in space, so it's literally all digitally added, it makes sense because everything goes together. Right. That works. But when you put something into like on location here, you can tell. So, but yeah, for what they did in 1993 with Jurassic Park, it's amazing. And of course, the music just like wow.
Yeah.
Takes me back every time.
I don't know if you listen to the Rewatchables. It's a Ringer podcast.
Oh,
but they just did Spider-Man 2002, and they compared the use of CGI in that movie versus what George Lucas was doing in the prequels at like the same time.
Oh,
and they were saying like they used it the right amount. It by no means has all of the CG in Spider-Man aged gracefully, but we just watched all of the Star Wars, which we'll get to. But the prequels, it's all no detail CGI. Like when they're walking through like the Jedi Council chambers or anything like that, it is just like looks like you're walking through a Battlefront level. It's crazy. It's crazy the level of detail that they were not able to produce in those movies.
Yeah.
Really interesting. But you can see the like arc of it throughout the three
because it's been a while since I've seen the prequels, but I already know the difference between 1 and 3 is significant.
Yeah.
Nice. So you mentioned that. You watching other things?
Yes. Also watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah.
This is okay. Here, this is the most shame that I've felt in a movie going experience before. So, I am an AMC investor. I have a couple shares of that bad boy. So I am part of their Investor Connect network. So I got an email.
That's how you're doing
that
this.
I got to watch it.
Emily saw you put, I can't remember what the movie was, but she's like, this movie's not out yet, and Jeffrey already has it watched on his Letterboxd. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I think we did one other movie like that, and I can't remember what it was.
We watched it. I think it came out on streaming recently, whatever it is, because we started watching it. Not important.
I know I've done it before, but I don't remember what
no big deal
she's referring to specifically. But Investor Connect.
Yes.
So I got to watch Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent 9 days early.
Nice.
So I watched it on a Wednesday evening. But we are part of the AMC A-list. And
this is just an AMC sponsored podcast.
Yeah, welcome to AMC. Invest in AMC to the moon. We're part of AMC A-list. And when you're part of AMC A-list, you tend to go to a lot of movies. Yeah. And when you tend to go to a lot of movies in a close proximity to each other, you see a lot of the same trailers over and over and over again. I don't like trailers to begin with. When you start to see them over and over and over again, you start to think, maybe we need to rethink this and factor in the trailer time to our
arrival
start time, to our arrival. Exactly. Yeah. So we have been flying by the seat of our pants and saying, hey, we can probably show up to the theater 10 minutes after showtime starts.
Okay.
And still be totally fine. Because it's 25 minutes of trailers is the typical time at
really
AMC theaters. They make movies better.
Because here they are.
We've been showing up like 10 minutes into the trailer time. I was unaware that Investor Connect screenings don't have trailers.
No!
I missed. We got into the theater about 15 minutes into the showing. So we walk in and we're like, what the heck is going on? Why are the lights down? And then I look up and I see Nick Cage on the screen and I'm like, no.
Oh, that hurts.
So we went back and had a second viewing.
Oh, man.
We didn't miss anything.
Okay.
We like actually maybe missed half a scene.
Okay.
Like I thought that we missed. I thought we missed so much, but it was really something that set up something further down the line that didn't really need that context to understand.
All right.
But I would recommend getting to the theater on time for that.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the time when Carol and I went to go see Endgame, and we got the start times?
Oh, you got...
Well, that, yeah. We were front row, far left, I think. But we had the movie times messed up by like 15, 20 minutes for some reason. I can't remember why. But we got there. We sit down. Movie starts. Like immediately. And I'm like, oh, dude, it's such a Marvel move not to have any trailers. I was like, that's genius.
Jeez. That's luck, though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
yeah,
luck
no,
that you,
I'm so sorry that you had to experience that.
Okay, so beyond that experience, Aces.
Oh yeah.
I will not say any more. I will let you experience it for yourself.
Yeah, I need it.
I in the lead up, we watched a few Nick Cage movies to get in the mood. So we watched. We watched Con Air.
Nice.
Con Air not aged as gracefully as The Rock. The Rock is still a banger. The Rock is amazing. Oh my gosh, I like went into it like after we watched Con Air first and then The Rock. Good. I went into The Rock being like, I really hope that this is not as rough as the Con Air experience was, and it wasn't. The Rock is a perfect movie.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, I just want to build some rockets. Take apart rockets. What is it? Whatever you say, just rockets.
Let's cut it with a bullcrap a-hole. Okay, well, enjoy that.
Oh, will do.
I wish I could go back in time and watch it for the first time.
Oh.
Also taking part of our other favorite franchise outside of the Nick Cage universe. We went through and watched all of the Star Wars chronologically.
Nice. Okay, when you say all of the Star Wars, that means things.
By all of the Star Wars, I mean the Skywalker saga.
Okay. 9
movies of the Skywalker saga. Plus Solo, plus Rogue One. Foggy goggles of childhood belovedness over the prequels. I love the prequels, but objectively, the prequels are no bueno.
Okay, hear me out though. As far as Star Wars movies goes, like
Yep.
I would say that the prequels are better Star Wars movies than the sequels.
Better Star Wars movies than the sequels.
Now, they did have the advantage of being like, okay, we know where this needs to go. We'll get you there. Having the original trilogy and the sequels we'll figure out something to do.
Well, the sequels are a mess.
Yeah. The
Force Awakens is great.
Yes.
I think I had no issues with The Force Awakens.
No.
But I think what happened was they made The Force Awakens and had no idea what they wanted to do with the rest of the trilogy. They were just like, Star Wars comes in trilogies, so this is the first of a new trilogy. Yeah. The prequels did so much more. Each George Lucas Star Wars movie did so much more world building than any of the sequel movies.
Very true. Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a new creature class that becomes iconic in each of the prequels and the originals, right? Like in the first one, he just comes up with this whole subculture of Tatooine that didn't exist in the original trilogy, like the pod racing, as weird as midichlorians are and all that. Like the Gungan City. As unbeloved as Jar Jar Binks is, Like the just world building that is nothing that they did in the
Well, you know what?
in the
I
sequels.
literally just had this thought. Droids, the Trade Federation.
Yeah, all of
That did
that.
not exist at all.
Yeah,
I didn't even that has been Star Wars to me. Obviously a
yeah,
part of it. I just now
exactly. And I think that is something that clouds us to look at those movies objectively. Though that movie is Star Wars, like the accepted canon of Star Wars
yeah.
is 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5, 6 for us.
Yes.
If you're somebody who grew up with just the original trilogy and then have to accept these other three movies, it's a lot.
Definitely.
But we grew up, that is Star Wars. So
wow,
I think it's a very different perspective to go into it with. But when you think about the sequels, it all follows the same framework as the originals, like especially the Force Awakens. Like new person is discovered in
sand,
the desert, and they have to take down a planet-killing base.
Yeah, I know exactly.
With a bad guy with a dark helmet.
Yeah.
And they're stormtroopers.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was playing Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. Going through those, I'm like, they really couldn't have like maybe altered it just a little bit. Maybe go a different direction.
Yeah.
And there's always the Rise of Skywalker line. Somehow Palpatine. Oh my God, Palpatine. Somehow Palpatine just returned. Like, guys, who wrote that line? Also, watch Palpatine die in Episode 6. There's absolutely no freak. He's in space. Even if he survives the fall and the explosion of the Death Star, he's in space.
Yeah, I think the idea is that the Sith don't die, or like they
that's not.
If you are truly part of the dark side, wanted to touch with the dark side, you like get transported back to this planet. Because I mean,
unless you're Dooku.
Okay, so Force Awakens, I thought was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. That was definitely a Star Wars movie. It was a great Star Wars movie. The Last Jedi had some of the most beautiful shots in all of Star Wars, and I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. The Casino Planet is the worst storyline. I've like just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I want to like there's a part in there where they totally forget their mission.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, let's just destroy this planet because who gives a crap about the people that we're trying to save anymore?
Which is the entire universe, by the way.
Yeah. It's so dumb. But the
but as Benicio del Toro's
hyperdrive into the First Order fleet
is amazing.
An incredible shot.
It is. And the sounding that they do.
Like it takes your breath away. The sound design, of the mental bridge between Kylo and Rey,
also good.
Come on,
yeah, no, and
they tried to do it again in the Rise of Skywalker, and it's disgusting.
Well, yeah, because
it's just it's a hollow shell of what they did in the Last Jedi. I don't understand how. I just don't get it. And Crate was pretty cool. Planet. The salt with the red, the white with the red, beautiful.
No, it's because Rian Johnson didn't direct Rise of Skywalker. They were like, "Hey, buddy, people didn't like what you tried to do, so we're just going to give the fans what we think they want, and we're going to do it."
And the whole idea of The Last Jedi is that it doesn't matter who you are. You don't have to be in this entangled family mess drama to be a powerful Jedi. You don't have to be like have the blood of royalty to be powerful.
Well, the fact that they bring her back into being a granddaughter of the Emperor, which like, okay, who's shacking up with Sheev after the council meetings? I don't know. But them doing that is kind of like a cop out because yeah, you're right. If she was just nobody, that really fills in the like how the force is all around us is in everybody and like certain people can use it. But no, it's just these very specific people that have any
Yeah.
ability whatsoever. They one thing
Yeah.
was I saw somewhere that I think it's Rise of Skywalker where Finn is like trying to tell Rey something.
Oh yeah, that freaking trash.
So I saw somewhere that it was him trying to tell her that he's force sensitive.
Uh, I
I,
don't know if that's true.
I,
I think that what I have seen is that J.J. Abrams has this construct that he calls a treasure box, where some things he doesn't even know what they mean when he puts them in. It's like he went to a garage sale once and he saw a treasure box that had a lock on it, and they didn't have the key, and he thought that was such a beautiful idea that anything could be in there. And comments like that, and he throws comments like that into his movies to
uh-huh.
provoke the imagination.
I see that kind of like a suitcase in Pulp Fiction type deal,
Yes, exactly.
but I think that's different because it's like this huge symbol that is like kind of the heart of the movie is whatever you want it to be. Not some dude says an offhanded comment that you're like, wait, what does that mean?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That movie has a lot of problems.
But I will say when all the Jedi are talking to Rey and you hear Ewan,
sick.
I like it.
Pretty sick.
I like that one. Yeah.
Kylo Ren's pretty sick at the end of that movie.
Kylo Ren's pretty sick. Adam Driver's kind of sick. Oh, dude, I saw, the good soup meme?
Yeah.
I saw that in its natural habitat, not expecting
You watching Girls?
We watched Girls.
Nice. Good?
It's funny. Some of it's like infuriating, just like with the way some of them are acting. But there's a lot of I'd laugh more than I thought I would. It's a lot of fun. Adam
Cool.
Driver's obviously
Yeah.
hilarious. He's great. Yeah, I was floored. I actually fell on the ground because I was not expecting it. I like saw the shot and I'm like, wait.
Wait.
Wait. So that was fun.
Remember when he took his helmet off in the first one, and we were all like, "What the heck is going on?"
I almost said something. Apologies to Adam Driver for my critical comments after Force Awakens, because
Yeah.
Him having done so many things before Star Wars and then the world being eyes opened to him after that. Thank you. That man's a treasure.
Objectively, he doesn't have the perfectly symmetrical face and features that you would typically say as on a level of attractiveness. But man, he's got a certain allure.
That's it.
He's so talented, and he's very charismatic.
Absolutely.
And I love it when he yells.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
it when he gets a little angry.
A little feisty. No, it's 100%. I'm like, the way he carries himself, I'll say it, it's attractive. Hey, he's great. So, thank you for listening, Adam Driver.
I hear he listens to everything that his name is mentioned in.
I don't know how he would find it, but wouldn't put it past him. So speaking, I mentioned it briefly, the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I don't know what our fan base is, what type of people you guys are, but I know there's some people out there that I'm sure hear Lego Star Wars and they think kids game. This is far from it, people. This is visually stunning. Really, the space, the ship, everything.
Took me a little bit
Me too.
to get used to the ship handling.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Once I learned to ignore the right stick.
Yeah. Actually,
Great.
that like you press it, things jarring, but it's amazing. The detail is absolutely incredible. Once you finish the story, it's like a free range. It's a.
I haven't gone there yet.
Oh,
I haven't finished the sequels.
Honestly, it's like been my favorite part so far. The story has been great.
Oh, cool.
But having started this and unlocking some characters and playing just for the sake of it, it's incredible. I love it. So I'm on Tatooine right now, just going through the desert looking for kyber bricks. And it's just amazing. You could do that alone. There could be no levels, and it would just be looking for kyber bricks.
Yeah.
And there's little stories, little things you got to do. And I'm in one spot. I'm on one location on one planet right now, and I could play that for hours and hours.
Yeah, and there's like 20 planets.
Yeah, it's astounding. It really is.
Yeah,
best Lego game release of all time. That doesn't surprise anyone.
Oh, that's not a fact.
No, it is.
That's
it is.
just something.
It is.
Oh,
3.2 million copies.
Wow.
Yeah. First 2 weeks, I think. First week, something like that.
Yeah. I should have had the foresight and just been like, I know that I'm gonna get this. I should just pre-order, but I didn't.
It happens. Well, I didn't.
It happened.
I asked Mom for Christmas. And and she's like, "You want me to pre-order?" And because I misread when it was coming out, and I was like, "Oh, no worries. I thought it was out. Don't worry about it." And then my mom, being the beautiful woman that she is, decided to just pre-order the deluxe version for me, thinking it was coming a full calendar year later. I got my little Luke minifig. It's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm sorry, dude. When I saw him in the actual gameplay or in the story, like, that's cool. The Imperial shuttle that you gave me for my birthday, seeing that too, playing as that, I was like, wow, it's cool. wow, dude, it's cool. No, seriously, I don't care if you're a Star Wars fan, a Lego fan. This game is amazing.
I don't care if you're a Lego fan. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
I don't think that non-Star Wars people are going to be like, this is amazing.
I think it's still amazing, regardless of if you know what's going on. It adds to it for sure.
Yeah. I think that we have some pretty tinted goggles.
That's true. And all of the memes that I thought were niche, but I guess not, that made it into this game are actually incredible.
So many memes.
They knew what they were doing.
Have you heard Qui-Gon say that he has a particular set of skills
I haven't heard him say it. I haven't been playing as him. Dude, Boba Fett, playing as Boba Fett, and playing as General Grievous. Grievous, in addition to his lightsabers, has a gun and can throw bombs.
What? Dude,
he's OP.
That's a cheat
He's
code.
OP.
He's OP.
And the Mandalorian has Grogu following him around at all times.
That's amazing. I love that one. That was a nice touch.
Absolutely. No, it is awesome. Sith Rey, you can play as Sith Rey. Awesome. She is so cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Because she's got the double lightsabers, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's cool. It's awesome. Yeah, really. I don't know if I'll ever be like done playing that game.
No, because I've finished the episodes and had 40, like I think 50% complete is the furthest I've gotten.
I don't
even though I've finished them.
I don't even know if I got there. I was like, I'm gonna get through gameplay and then I'm gonna go back and do free play.
Okay, I did a lot of the. It's annoying to try to do all the bricks while you're going through the levels. Yeah. Because you run into a lot of places where it's like, oh, you need a bounty hunter. I'm going to dip my toe into the prequel or the sequels tonight.
They're fun. Force Awakens is a great episode to play.
They had a dedicated Force Awakens game.
Yes, they did.
Right?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Only
never
Force
played
Awakens. I played like a demo, in like a Target or something. And I remember it being super complicated. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. But that was because I was so used to the complete saga.
Do we play any other games besides the complete saga? I feel like we did Lego Star Wars 2.
You know what? I don't remember playing Lego Star Wars 2, but I remember having a game before the complete saga, and we got the complete saga and was like, oh, because I'm being limited before.
I thought so too, but I really don't remember.
No, I can't remember gameplay, but I do remember that feeling of finally we can play all the games, all the episodes.
Yeah. I think that they had Lego Star Wars, the first one, on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe PlayStation 2 at church.
No. Nice.
At Westgate, yeah.
Nice.
Well, should we conclude our conversation on the Ancient
Oh,
Warrior?
yes. The beginning of the end, as it were. So let's give everyone a recap. I know you
Yeah.
guys probably just binged this last episode and this one, but we'll go into it anyway. So the Ancient Warrior, a man out of history. So we start, and we're hazy on year. We're not going to give you a number, but it's early on. Our ancient warrior is wanting to conquer the world, to defeat all foe, and gain dominion over our little blue and green home here. He meets a foe on the battlefield that stops him in his tracks and sends him scurrying with his tail between his legs, where he comes across an entity that's willing to make a deal. And in desperation, our ancient warrior strikes a deal to get the power and longevity to beat this foe that just made him look silly and rule the world, the entire world. He goes out, beats the foe, and is expecting this great sense of fulfillment, and doesn't get it. Because little does he know, the world is significantly larger than what he thinks. He is never quite able to conquer the world. It's too big. There's too many walks of life. You can't govern everything all at once. Decades, centuries, millennium pass by. And our ancient warrior has grown content, reluctantly content in his inability to conquer the world. And he is a professor of history at a university, living out his days when this entity that has become dormant over the years of unsuccessful conquest wakes up. He's awakened by a thief in the museum of which he was displayed, not unlike Night at the Museum, and starts coming after our main character and decides, with or without you, I'm going to try to conquer the world myself. So there you have it. We have our ancient warrior in his tweed jacket teaching the youth of today, and this evil entity which has decided to take over the world without its vessel, without its avatar. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. So
yeah.
today let's talk about an ending.
Well, we also have
how we want this to end.
Important to talk about the guy that he beat on the battlefield all those centuries ago.
Yes.
Is now entwined in his fate.
Foe.
Yes. They've become friends over the years because at a certain point, the killing just seemed superfluous. And so now they're trying to figure out together how they can end this cycle. Yeah, so I think that's where we had officially stopped.
I think so. Now, did we have the entity rope the foe into his plot, or is our foe going to stay as a team with
So I think that was a thing we wanted is
point of contention.
I don't think so. I think it was something we wanted to have him with the entity. Well, so
okay. Yeah, I think so.
Externally, he is pretending to be on the side of the ancient warrior who has decided to stop the entity from this horrible takeover plot. And our guy's like, oh, okay. But also like, hey, I die every 60 to 90 years. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And that sucks. So I'm actually just going to secretly help this evil entity. And so there's a saucy twist there as we get to however this culminates.
Now, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we talked about a location for this university where our professor of ancient history is teaching.
Yeah.
I had just thought in my mind that it was in New York City, but I don't think we discussed that, and that's just...
I think it's either New York City or Boston. I feel like when I'm picturing the university, it's like kind of old looking, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like Dr. Jones's place of
Yeah.
business in
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. That's kind of what I'm picturing. So
So maybe Boston.
maybe Boston.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Not too many Boston movies.
No. Or we could
And
just
it's a place of like the oldest. I
exactly.
guess New York is also. New York and Boston are pretty on par. New York, Boston, Philadelphia, all kind of
Yeah.
on par U.S.
Or
history
we
wise.
just throw everyone a freaking curveball and go to like South Dakota.
Yeah, but there are no big buildings to have a final battle.
I don't think there's any buildings there at all. Do people live there? Is that a real place?
If you are a listener from South Dakota, write us. And let us know
let us
how
know.
many tall buildings you have.
We also just want to know what life is like in South Dakota.
I don't know if you have too much room to speak.
Hey, this is the crossroads of America. So yeah.
Okay, so I like that location. And do you have an idea for an ending? Because I am at a loss.
I do. So
Okay.
there's a little piece of this that I have not exactly worked out.
Okay.
But we can play with it. So here's my thing. The foe betrays Ancient Warrior, somehow overcomes him and reluctantly defeats him, kills him. Unfortunately, however that looks. Probably a fall, so we don't get gory. And then is left fighting the entity. And again, a lot of stuff could happen here, but in some way, and also we mentioned students last time, so that are helping him, like sidekicks kind of thing. So I say we have them kind of agree to stop this thing, stop the entity where the Ancient Warrior is kind of like, okay, I'm going to live forever. Better than massacring millions. Have him say that. But let me finish.
Yeah.
And so the piece I'm missing is there's something in the words he used for the original agreement with this entity where rule the earth or have dominion over the earth doesn't necessarily mean you are like the king of the world. And so he beats the entity, so the entity can't take over the world, however that looks.
Right.
And just goes, all right. And then it kind of dwindles, and then we like jump to time later, and either I had a thought of him like teaching a class where he's describing the loophole that he doesn't know exists. He's talking about it but not understanding what it means in his case, and then like later he finishes the class and is like in his chambers and sees like a gray hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm missing how the entity is stopped.
Yeah, I don't know that specifically because I don't know what he's trying to do. My thought was instead of trying to get in a position of power over everyone, he's planning some terrible cataclysmic event that would lower the population to the point that he could potentially corral humanity easier. And they stop that, and I don't think they can kill this entity. Maybe they can. I don't know how magical we want to, like, I don't know from whence this thing came and the source material behind it.
I wonder if we do something like our Ancient Warrior returns to the cave in which he was granted his wishes.
Okay.
He interprets carvings in the cave walls. And they are instructions on how to recapture this entity into whatever canister or receptacle he was in the museum.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So he goes back there and then is able to recapture.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a good way to do it.
And the language that he uses in the original agreement could be something along the lines of save the planet. Or
right.
Like,
I know I couldn't figure out exactly the right word because
become the protector of the world or something along those lines, where it's kind of like a twisted way of thinking about having rulership.
Exactly.
Like being the ruler of.
Exactly.
And by capturing the entity, he has fulfilled
Exactly.
the entity's promise.
Exactly. That was
Oh, she.
That was it. I don't know what language to put the original verbal agreement in, but I was thinking of like, you know how like agape love in like Latin or whatever is like a very specific type of like selfish love. It like means something a little more than just love. Something like that. We get a word that means that maybe on the face of it looks sinister, but you're right. It's like responsible for the world. I couldn't think exactly what, but yes, that was definitely the idea. And then
I love it.
Yeah, and then maybe that's the lesson he's in the class talking about is this ancient language where he's describing that distinction. Maybe it occurs to him.
Yeah.
And then, or maybe it does after he puts two and two together after he sees the gray hair.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Nice.
I think that's perfect. Seeing the gray hair is an excellent. It's great.
All right.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Poetic.
This is amazing.
In destroying the entity that granted him his power, he is freed from its curse.
Yep.
I love it. So I think we threw around some casting ideas before.
I think we have our winner though for the Ancient Warrior.
The Ancient Warrior. I feel like it's Dave Bautista.
I think it's Dave Bautista.
Weirdly, Dave Bautista.
I think Dave Bautista. I
think that he can bring the like
intensity.
He can bring the intensity, but he also has like a great face of ignorance. Like when he is like in as Drax and he's like confused about customs. He's confused about well in that I think it's I Spy or My Spy.
My Spy. Yeah.
My Spy? Like that kind of fish out of waterness feeling of being an ancient entity that is
right,
not thrust into normal society, but like always a step behind.
Exactly. Always a step behind is exactly how I have him pictured.
I think he could play that character.
Yeah. Like we said, My Spy, I think it's CIA. I haven't seen the film, but a CIA agent taking care of a child. He's not used to that. Shenanigans ensue. Same kind of vibe. He's also got that leader mentor type thing. Have you watched Army of the Dead?
Yeah.
Like I like how he's like the leader of that team in that, and how he can mentor to these kids, the students that we have involved with the plot. Yeah. Dave Bautista.
Sweet. I think he might be a little old to be someone who's seen a first new gray hair, but
that's a good point.
You know, it's Hollywood, baby.
Magic. Movie magic. Okay, so Dave Bautista is our Ancient Warrior. We'll call his agent, see if he's available. Who do we want to go for next? Do we want to look at the vessel for this entity?
The vessel for this entity.
Who has huge... We don't have to go this route, and it's. I don't want to just piggyback off this. A big Ethan Hawke and Moon Knight vibe.
Oh.
Which, have you seen the stuff about the line he speaks in Mandarin?
No.
So I saw that people said that his Mandarin is terrible. Like he should have like got somebody to help him out or whatever. And so I'm just thinking it's just a horrible accent. But then I see more people talk about it, and apparently he like just says gibberish. Like it's not even like words. What? Like it's like my knee and then blah 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 blah, blah like nothing. Which I think I'm like, how does that happen?
It seems like not okay.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
How does that happen? And like it seems like you maybe had him say something and then intended to dub over it.
Yeah, and you forgot.
And you forgot to dub it.
I will.
There are a lot of issues with that show, just like production wise. It looks like an ABC show.
Parts
of it parts
It
of it
does
do,
not
for sure.
diminish the fact that I freaking love it. I
Oh,
am
I love it.
obsessed with it. It's like right now it's my favorite show that's on. I love it. Wednesday nights are like
Yeah.
um it helps that when he says the Mandarin line, it's like there these people in this community, like your goal is to learn another language. So I
Mm.
think he's like learning it, so he doesn't quite have it yet, but at the same time he looked
Hmm.
like he was supposed to have it. So anyway,
Yeah.
so there's that.
Interesting.
But I think he does that villain is a great
Yeah.
sinister but like my purpose is righteous type vibe.
Totally. Yeah, and I think we can get a multitude of people to kind of capture that, but he's like a great example,
Yeah,
a stunning.
exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think he would sign on to
I
do
don't
this
think so
one.
either.
Just
Well, let's not limit ourselves based on that. Um, might be tough. Might be tough to find people.
for our foe,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for a foe. Yeah, yeah.
what do you think about Billy Magnuson? I'm huge on Billy Magnuson.
Your boy.
I got a
Your
weird
boy.
Billy
Your
Magnuson thing.
boy.
My
I think it could
boy.
be great because I like as you said that I'm seeing him in the scene where he's like they're like, hey man, you cool with dying? Yeah, totally. Like I see him acting that scene out. So Billy Magnuson. Might look strange in the warrior garb that he has on at the beginning, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Well,
I think it's good because he might look a little bit more out of place in that beginning part, but since I think he's supposed to look more adapted than our
yeah, I
ancient
think so.
warrior.
Because he's supposed to grow up and like he's supposed to cycle
Exactly.
through each
Right.
generation. So he's always kind of a step
Yeah.
ahead
Exactly.
culturally.
Yeah. He has those definite ends to his cycle where it's easier for
Yeah,
him to start over, whereas our ancient warrior is just like this is an endless stream of time.
yeah,
So I see him as well groomed, well kept school administrator or whatever his role is at the university, which he helps him like get and
yeah.
maintain.
Right.
So yeah, Billy Madison. I had a obviously we can't do this for our entity, and I don't know if he would go with the movie itself, like based on his other titles, but like Departed era Jack Nicholson, or right before that, a little bit before that. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We watched what did we watch? Something's Gotta Give the other day. Have you seen that?
Hmm. I don't believe I have.
It's
Wait, which ones? Oh no, that's that. No, I have not seen that.
yeah, it's rom commy.
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton. So yeah, Jack Nicholson
Jack Nicholson as our entity.
potentially. This obviously won't.
Potential.
He has to be. This is a specific era Jack Nicholson.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, potentially. And we can maybe iron out the other ones as we get closer to production.
I agree. Cool. I think that concludes our conversation on the
I think
Ancient
it does.
Warrior.
I think that wraps it up quite nicely. And
Well, thanks everybody for joining us on
yeah,
this journey.
I appreciate it. Don't look for it. Coming soon. Because as great as it is, I don't think we have the right connections.
Yet.
So, to segue from there, do you have a connection for me?
Are you ready for this? I want you to connect Nicolas Cage to Ewan McGregor. We're going to stay
To
on
who?
theme.
Sorry.
Nicolas Cage to Ewan McGregor.
I thought you said Yul Brynner, and I was like,
We're,
I don't think I can do that for you. Oh, potentially. Never mind. It doesn't matter because Yul Brynner's in the like OG Westworld, and I was like, can I use that to connect to
yeah,
this? Never mind. Okay, so Nicolas Cage to Ewan McGregor.
Nicolas Cage to Ewan McGregor. We're staying on theme this episode.
All right. I was gonna try to do a fun one, but I don't know if I can do it.
What were you trying to
I was
do?
trying to use robots for Ewan McGregor.
Oh,
Rodney Copperbottom. Ooh,
robots
wait.
would be fun.
Well, I'm like struggling to get to Nicolas Cage for some reason. Because oh, well, gosh, I have like a ton of different webs. They're just not, they're not coming together. Nicolas Cage is in, what should we use? Ah, man, there's so many. Gosh, it shouldn't be this difficult. Can I use a TV show?
What TV show?
The Mandalorian. Okay, because it's a good
Sure.
one. Okay. Ewan McGregor is in Big Fish.
Yep.
With Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
Danny DeVito is in Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is in Predator with Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers in The Mandalorian with Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal is in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage.
That is roundabout. That's amazing.
Well, give me an asterisk on that one. I don't know why. I had so many titles. I was stopped tough. Like one connection away.
Yeah. I'll get you through Star Wars still.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor is in. No, I'm going to go the other way. Nicolas Cage is in Face Off with John Travolta. John Travolta is in Pulp Fiction with Samuel L. Jackson, who is in Phantom Menace.
Good one.
Ewan McGregor. Also, could have Gone in 60 Seconds. Nicolas Cage is in that with Angelina Jolie,
right?
Who is in Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt, who is in Ocean's 11 with George Clooney, who is in Men Who Stare at Goats with Ewan McGregor.
With Ewan McGregor. Nice.
Some weird titles. Have you seen The Island with Ewan McGregor?
Island? I don't think so.
It's a Michael Bay movie. They are the last surviving members of society, and they are on the their goal is to get to the island. They're in some industrial warehouse kind of thing, and they're randomly selected to be shipped to the island, which is a paradise, but there's limited capacity there.
Interesting.
Yeah. There were some twists and turns.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. And who'd you say was in that?
That's Ewan McGregor. I believe Scarlett Johansson is also in it.
Oh, interesting. What year?
It's like mid-2000s.
Interesting.
Let's see. What year is 2005? Literally mid-2000s. I think that's going to do it for us.
I think so.
Thank you all for joining us for the conclusion of our conversation about the Ancient Warrior. I hope you all had a wonderful time with us, and we will be back in your ears as soon as we decide to.
Yeah, as soon as it happens. And we're excited to get you started on a whole new adventure next episode. Exciting stuff.
Something to look forward to.
Indeed.
Another movie not coming soon. I have been Jeff Myers.
And I have been Ryan Myers. And until next time, this was Patches of Houlihan.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
And...